PSS in the government, we need guidance. In Mombasa, fortunately, we have only few schools. I think in JKUAT, we have just the School of Business and the School of IT. TUM, I think you just have 5. So we can make it industry-based so that we can have students from Mombasa being CEOs in various parastatals and companies across the country. And another issue is us as satellite campuses in Mombasa. We normally don't have a bigger space for us to have playgrounds, swimming pools in our institution. So we were requesting the office of the governor, if you could also, yesterday I was going through the budget of the county, from the 70 million that was allocated for renovation of the stadiums. Once they are renovated, we can have a schedule for each campus for us to play there free of charge. That's it for me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was a good one. Any other? Student leaders, before.
To our governor, Dr. Abdul Swamad Sharif Nasir, Vice Chancellor TUM, all protocol observed. Good evening. Now, first and foremost, my name is Duncan Otieno. I'm from Bandari Maritime Academy, and I'm representing Bandari Maritime Academy. And we've been having so many issues at Bandari that I would love to put across, yeah? So the first issue we are having is sea time. We are having a very big issue when it comes to sea time. Most students that are pursuing marine engineering and nautical science, we are having a very big issue when it comes to seeking for sea time. Then the other issue is also the allocation of help. I think that one has already been mentioned, so I wouldn't want to talk about it again. Then the other thing we are having, and this is a very big issue that I would love to address, it's in relation to Bandari Maritime Academy. There's a clip that was circulating some time back in the Senate. And this was in line with the recognition of certificates that are being offered in Kenya in the maritime sector. Most companies are not taking students from Kenya because they think our certificates are not recognized. A very good example is MSc. MSc is not taking students from Kenya as we speak. And this is a very big issue that needs to be attended to. Then another thing is also employment. As we all know, those who are in the maritime sector, when you check the ILO and IMO website, you'll realize that we have close to 25 ships, vessels, that are running under the Kenyan flag. Lakini these ships, we don't know where they are. We try to look for jobs, but tunaambiwa Kenya haina meli. And when this happens, you are forced to go and look for jobs outside. And this is a very big problem. Most of us are wamesoma. We have the certificates, but getting the jobs is a very big problem. So we'd like to have some assistance and some things to be done about it. Then the other thing, this is a humble request. I love whatever TUM is doing. And thank you so much for inviting us here, because this is a platform yenye sisi hatungepata. I'm speaking at a personal level as Bandari Maritime Academy. We have nobody in that school. We as comrades, we have no channel in which you can follow to raise our issues to the management. So kindly and humbly, we're asking if you can do something about it. We'll really appreciate. So I think for now, ni hayo tu, and thank you so much for coming here. We don't take it for granted, and we are hoping things will be adjusted in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I now want to proceed to, I said 2 questions from the student leader. Because of time, alafu wale wananchi wengine pia wako na maswali. Mtaturuhusu tu kwa sasa. And meanwhile, Kwa hiyo kutengeneza body ya wanafunzi kule ndani, console some of us, we know how to push for it. We will give you the skills. Aya, I want to go to the public now, other comrades, I mean. And I'll take 2 or 3. But backbenchers, I'll start with the backbenchers. And in this case, pole pole. And if anyone says something that you don't agree with, as youths, let's learn to accept dissenting opinion. That is why we are pushing even the government, so that they can listen to us. So don't jeer, don't boo anybody. Kila mtu akona haki ya kuongea. Backbencher, there's a lady who wants to speak. Wanaume wameongea sana. Aya, patia this guy in a black t-shirt. Very brief, please.
My name is Mark, or Ama MC Furaha. Comrades power. Comrades power. To His Excellency, the Governor, and to the Vice Chancellor. My concern is one, while you're speaking, you address the issue of that in KNCPS, they have Mvita FM that you launched while you are the Member of Parliament for Mvita constituency. Now, my concern is, because I'm a student at Technical University undertaking Bachelor of Journalism and Mass Communication, we have a radio station called Tumo Radio, our very own, but it is not in operation. And one of the main reasons that we are seeing the Gen Zs or the students in the university getting out is because they don't have a chance or an opportunity where they can be able to practice or have a practical way of ensuring what they are studying, they are putting it into practical. So we are requesting that the Tumo Radio that we are having in the e-learning block, I wish it would be operational and we have it for the students who are taking Bachelor of Journalism and Mass Communication, have that a chance and opportunity to use it. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a good one. He has noted at the corner. I want to try that corner, then this corner, then I'll come here. Hakuna mtu hapo? Nitapita.
Your Excellency, the Governor, the Vice Chancellor, DVC, and all protocol of staff, good afternoon. I don't have a question actually, mine was just on emphasis. On the issue about drugs and substance abuse and security, I think there will be a much rather better option in tackling the issue, because they say kinga ni better kuliko dawa, si ndio? So badala ya kuweka hizo security cameras, I think tunafaa to address the real issue ambayo ni idleness. Nimeinteract na vijana wengi mtaani na utapata kuwa hawafanyi crime ama hawa engage na drugs juu wanapenda. Ni wengine wanataka ku get out of the zone, more of hao wenye wana abuse drugs na anakuwa addict, na ndo apate pesa kutumia hizo drugs, inabidi ana engage kwa robbery and sort. So sisi kama sisi tuna organization hapa ya Tum Dynamos Football Club, tunasaidia both students, alumni na locals wa Mombasa. Tukiparticipate kwa sports, hautakuwa na time ya ku take drugs, but utapata sometimes ina Kiswahili kidogo, ni discouraging kutackle ukue sportsman kwa students na ku maintain lifestyle yako, si ndio? Juu unapata kama sisi tumetoka game leo pale Changamwe, fare yenyewe tumejitolea kwa mfuko, kulipa referee sisi wenyewe. Mwanako sasa niko njaa bana, sababu ile jiti nilikuwa nayo ndo nimeitumia hapo. So I think ni better to address the real issue ambayo ni hiyo idleness na job seeking. So tukiwa na more activities za sports tournaments, tukisupport clubs zetu, si football tu, pia nina friend of mine anacheza tennis. Kuingia hapa Mvita Tennis Club analipa 200 per day. Hiyo ni budget ya Comrade ya wiki mzima bana. So bwana Governor, please address your issue. Asante.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Let me go this side. The mic to him. Be very brief. Don't repeat yourself. Just ask one question. We move. Because this is the last session actually, because we won't have any other time. Oh, The one far end, what's your name? What's your name? Just say your name, I'll be able to. Hilary Onyango. Thank you. When you are speaking, ensure that you mention your name, please. Thank you, Hilary. Back to you.
Comrades Power, Muko Salama. To my governor, my name is Amir. I'm Amiri. And I was not intending to speak, but the speech you gave, kidogo, raised some passion in me and some concerns too. Specifically, you said, what triggered me to speak is when you say that we need to hold everyone accountable, isn't it? And you being 001, the top guy, I had some concerns that I would like for you to...
Go ahead, ask the question. Thank you.
So firstly, is in terms of allocation of public funds. Kwenye pita yangu ya siasa, I did get a report...
It's direct to the comrade issues, so that we can come back to you if it is not relating to the
comrades. See, it was an open now for the public, you said?
No, it's for the comrades first. That is why you see all these hands are up. Okay, go ahead, ask. Yes, you have been given a chance.
I could be an alumni, probably.
Ask.
Okay. So, these are things that I came across, and they were concerning to me. And in the allocation of public funds, I read somewhere that under your tenure, when you came into power, you allocated 15 million Kenya shillings for the renovation of your governor's office, okay? And along the same line, there was procurement of the public address system for the county government for 9 million Kenya shillings, okay? So I was concerned in terms of the transparency, and I was concerned how does it align, that budget, how does it align with the priorities of our community?
Thank you. That's a good question.
Okay.
Thank you.
Secondly,
let's give others a chance as well.
I only have this one chance. I will never get it in my life. Okay? There are only 3 concerns, and they are genuine.
Another person, please.
Comrades, do you allow me? Do you allow me to continue, comrades? Please. So secondly,
go ahead.
You said that you like engaging, and I will agree, you do engage the public. This is evident. But there's one point in case where I do not feel that you are truthful or it contradicts what you're saying, because recently there were hikes in parking fees, okay? I was affected directly. Nowadays I have to use the public service because of that. But I can remember, I follow very closely, okay, that there was no proper public participation in the hiking of fees, of the parking fees. So, kindly, I think you get my question there, right?
Thank you. The governor will respond.
Can I proceed?
We have other people who also want to ask questions. So. Hiya. Any lady? You know, we have to balance. The governor will respond to that. Karibu.
Now allow me to be able to answer Amir last because he asked the questions last. I will answer you. Kindly don't leave because it is important tutoane masikio taka. And it is important as well for me to teach you how government works. It is important. Kwanza, I heard here, of course, the MC was mentioning, and he mentioned that about the issue that I stopped the matters of police brutality. It is true. I'm a firm believer. I'm not saying that go out and demonstrate carelessly, but I'm a firm believer in upholding the constitution of this country. Through the constitution of this country, there are many ways in which you can be able to state your grievances. Even right now, as we are here, some of you have stated issues that probably could be grievances. That is one of the issues that is currently there. And what I don't align myself with is destruction of property. The same way I will protect anyone from being harassed by the police is the same way I will protect anyone who is being harassed by a protester. I hope that is clear. I have been part and parcel myself, me, your governor, of protests. I protested when I vied the first time on matters of IBC, then even non-political. I protested, and I was one who was being tear-gassed almost every other day when it came to issues of the port services being relocated. And I believe if my voice had not been out there, today the conversation would have died and this thing would have just been forgotten in totality. So first of all, I want to congratulate everyone for stating what they think, for stating what they believe. Equally, you need to give and also applaud, because the issues that someone like Amir has raised, some are right, some are misinformed, some are misjudged. So it is important, since I'm here, allow me to be able to answer to all these issues. The issue that was also raised was the issue of the hostel. Yes, when I was a member of parliament, I had a concept. And if that concept had been approved by the CDF board in Nairobi, today would have been a very different story. One of the issues that was there, I proposed building a hostel here. And when I wanted to build that hostel here, then thereafter, proceeds from that hostel, that means every comrade, whether they are going to pay 5,000 as rent or whatever, goes to a kitty that is going to be financing the education for the needy students of TUM itself. I have just discussed with the CC for education. It is a legal matter I cannot confirm or commit to, but it is a legal matter that I also want to be able to just check, and once I've been able to confirm whether it is feasible or not feasible, then I will be able to make a commitment on that. I hope that is fair enough, isn't it? Because I was stopped before on legal matters, that the CDF was not allowed to finance because TUM was a body corporate. The other issue that was there that Fatma has raised, and I want to congratulate you, and I'm actually proud of you of the fact that you have thought of such an idea. The mentorship program for now university students. What I would recommend is my office, together with the county secretary and the Elimu scheme, to sit down with the management of all the campuses plus a representative of the student leadership so we can see the modalities of how to do it. The concept is acceptable to me. The only thing we need to agree on is now the modalities. I think that will be fair enough. So, and again, I have always said no one can have a monopoly of good ideas, but we can all have ways in which we can be able to work together. The other issue that was raised was space. Yes, there's no problem at all. In fact, today I gave instructions that all those stadiums that we're building, all of you should have access. These are not private entities, they're not private facilities, so you should have access. You'll be having slots to be able to go and play at certain times, acceptable times, so that they don't clash with other students as well. The issue that Duncan raised, one, Duncan, I want to give you a bit of good news, first of all. I managed to get the Coast General Hospital to be certified. We're actually certified to provide medical certificates for seafarers now. That means before, I think you were paying, is it 60,000 or something like that for a medical, isn't it? So right now, with Coast General coming on board, and we'll be doing a big event which we will be inviting yourselves as future, it will be a fraction of the cost. The whole idea for us to invest in the necessary equipment, the necessary reagents and everything else is so that we can be able to make our seafarers access sea time at a very, very affordable way. The issue that you raised was not getting sea time. Actually, TUM students have been able to get sea time. And the maritime students at TUM have been able to get sea time. What I will do, thank you so much, Vivi. What I will do, allow me to have a sit-in with the shipping lines, and we discuss these matters with them. When I was a member of parliament, there were some laws that I succeeded in pulling through. One of them was to ensure that the port is not privatized by the auspices of the Kenya National Shipping Line. At that time, I dealt with other colleagues of yours, and one of the legislation that I wanted to pull through then was to ensure that any ship that docks in our sea has to have a certain amount of Kenyans in it. It is not something that is unique just to the idea that I had, but it is something that is acceptable to all over. And what I will do is I will talk to the current member of parliament to be able to take that same piece of legislation. Making law is very tiring, it is very tiresome. You have to convince members of the National Assembly, then you convince members of the Senate, and then it is quite tiresome. You have to debate and you have to do your research. But the beauty is that we will also be trying to consult and talk to the shipping lines to see what we can be able to do. The issue that we were also asked was the issue of drugs. And I'm glad, Hillary, I asked the name because I mentioned here, I agree with you. I agree with you that we have a problem when young people are idle during holidays. That's why we have the motivation program. I have just stated here that had it not been for the court case that the bars have taken me into, the funds from the liquor board were all going to support, including teams like yourself, where I said it is going to be, regardless of anything else, from FKF to the ones playing within the normal league to every other league, as long as you're a team based in Mombasa, you'll all be entitled. We did this, there was a ceremony that I did. I was invited by the Mombasa football, what were they called? The Mombasa, the one that Kinagoshi is running. But anyway, which one? The Gala Awards, and I made this statement then. The framework is ready, but I cannot do something that is going to be illegal. So allow me to finish my battles with the court with these people. And that is why we're doing the motivation program over the school holidays. That is the reason why I've invested so much that we are now doing counseling to these young people. Right now, as we're speaking, we're doing counseling in all our schools. And by the way, we did a research. 10,000 students from tertiary, primary to secondary were asked a number of questions. 10,000 young girls and 10,000 boys were asked these particular questions. And one of the issues that were raised is availability of some of these products. What I don't agree with, you cannot tell me that a young boy who is 16 years a young boy, because right now, majority of the crime that we have is juvenile. And even if it is not juvenile, those young people are in their 19s and their 20s, they're your ages. They're your ages. What I will not agree is if someone tells me a 19-year-old boy has decided to go into crime because he doesn't have a job, when we have people who are 24 still looking for that job. I will not agree for someone to tell me that a 16-year-old child has a right to be able to hold a dagger and a knife and stab someone. That 16-year-old child should be in school, should be under the care of their mothers and fathers, and if the mother and father is not there, that should be under the care of the society. It is easy to point a finger. It is very easy to point a finger and say that this is government's doing, a 16-year-old boy is idle. And I always use this as an example. If an elephant cannot say that they got tired of their own tasks, who are we to say that we are tired of our own children? How do you let go of your 16-year-old child? As a matter of fact, if anything else, if a 16-year-old, if I had it my way, if a 16-year-old commits a crime, the parent also should be held responsible. We need to state it the way it is. It's very easy. Ni rahisi sana kila moja kusema kwa tupeleke lawama, kijana alikuwa hana kitu ya kufanya miaka 16. Miaka 16. Umemaliza kunyonya juzi tayari ushajua kushika. Amir, I believe in being held accountable, but I believe in being told the truth. You started by asking me that 15 million was used to renovate the governor's office. One, the money was budgeted, it was not stolen. There's a difference. Two, the definition of the governor's office is the governor's office, the deputy governor's office as well, and equally, we also host the county secretary and a number of others. If you want to tell me, because the office that I am in is a heritage site, if you want to tell me that unataka governor na deputy governor mivua inyeshe iingie ndani ndio utafurahi, pia uniambie hivyo. Lakini I can assure you that is not what is the wishes of the people. I don't think any of you here, mimi niwaulize nyinyi mnataka niingie ofisi mvua imenyesha kwa wino? Was that money stolen? And so what if I fix the office? Is it my private office? Will there not be another governor after me? And secondly, when you're talking to me about 15 million that was used to renovate the deputy governor and the governor's office and the others who fall under us, you forgot to state what percentage it is of what it is I've invested in our people. Right now, we've just talked about education. You should have asked me and told me how much did you spend on the governor's scholarship program so that we have all these young people to be an alumni like you claim to be. You should have asked me how much money did you spend on those 31,000 students. The amount of money that we spent in the governor's office is a fraction. Secondly, you're asking me about parking fees. And I would advise you, and anyone who owns a car, please listen to me very carefully. Statistics show car owners in Mombasa are 3% of the population. So you're amongst the 3% who are privileged. What you failed to state is when I came into office, I reduced the fees that was meant to be paid for tuk-tuks. I reduced the fees that was meant to be paid for matatus. Nisikieni kwa makini. Mine will be a government that will be there not to take care of the 3% of the population. But as I look at the 3% of the population, I realize that I have a 97% of the population that I also need to take care of. When I came in, I reduced figures that are meant to be paid to tuk-tuks. When I came in, I reduced figures that were meant to be paid by matatus by a whopping 30% plus. And then if we are told that there was no public participation, I think that is also another unfair. And by the way, I'm at liberty to be taken to court by an alumni like yourself. because the definition of public participation is whether we advertise this, we did what. We not only put it in the papers, in all the major papers. Public participation was done in every single sub-county. Then after that, the county assembly did their own public participation. So sometimes ni muhimu tuweze, me, I ask myself one question. I just talked to all of you here, and by the way, the same finance bill, because another issue that is there, which is another myth, is governor on a finance bill. I don't have a finance bill. And the difference between me and those I'm competing with is one. I think like there's no box. I don't think out of the box. I have other ways in which we can be able to raise money. And if it is true that we are being asked that why did I increase the parking, it is the same document that I appended my signature that reduced the single business permits kwa wale maskini. Is it not my signature that reduced the single business permits for those who are poor? And I'll tell you the net effect of that. The net effect of me reducing single business permits for those who are poor ended up realizing one thing, a bigger amount of collection, because people, and by the way, people don't mind paying. Hear me out. Niskieni. Kenyans don't mind paying taxes. Kenyans want to know where their taxes are going. Today, when I stand here and I tell you this government, hii serikali right now, every child under 5, from birth to the unfortunate event of death, is treated 100% free. From birth to the unfortunate event of death is 100% free as long as wewe ni wa Mombasa. If I stand here in front of you today, and all of you are educated enough, and I tell you, Mombasa is number 3 in what we bring to the GDP of this country. But we are nowhere amongst the top in what we get from national government as equitable share for Mombasa. I had many different ways in which I can be able to share this equation out. Do I increase local taxes? Or do I figure innovative ways in which we can be able to raise revenue? So, mambo kuambiwa sijui spend milioni 15, yes, I will not have an office that is leaking. And I'm not shameful about that, and I will not apologize about that. Because that is a fraction. And then, sasa media equipment, 9 million, you need to ask yourself, first of all, that equipment that we are intending to buy, whose and whose office is it for? Sahi mimi nikija hapa, and I'm talking to all of you, would you prefer me talking to you with a microphone with sound, or would you prefer me shouting? Mimi naona mengine, tafuteni utafiti zaidi. Hiyo ambao kwamba mmefanya hapa, mutapiga break, my friend. Tumeelewana paka hapo, sio? I think you ask the next round, nijibu zote.
I understand. Check. Thank you so much, Bwana Governor. Thank you so much. Relax. Na pia tunaangalia time. That one you have to agree. So that is why when you are given a chance, be as brief as you can, go direct to the point, and let me once again repeat, matters have to be relating to comrade affairs. If you want to have any other session, invite us outside there. We will come, we will ask questions. So allow me to say, because of time, we need just only 3 to ask a question. Governor needs to be somewhere. 2 questions. So majority wamesema only 2 questions. and then we will vote for these two questions. We need a lady and a gentleman. Aya. Let's start with a lady. Any lady? Ladies, do you want to donate that to Aya? There is one lady here. This will be the last person in terms of gender. Then the man. The man. Wangapi wanasema ni this side? Wangapi wanasema ni this side? Pardon? This other side. The other side. This other side. Yeah, now who this side? The gentleman. Thank you. Give her the mic.
Our esteemed governor, our distinguished guests, the university management, and my fellow comrades, how are you? My name is Nadine Joki. I'm the faculty representative for the School of Engineering and Technology. And my question, I have only one question.
Let's listen to her
It
kindly.
goes specifically to the waziris. It's more of a maybe a recommendation or a suggestion. It's about monetization of skill set. In School of Engineering, my school, we have five departments representing the various engineerings. We have civil engineering, we have marine engineering, we have mechanical, medical, architecture, and electrical. Meaning, those are, if you do a bachelor in those engineerings, it's mostly 5 years, and for architecture, 6 years. And you find a parent cannot support a comrade. Okay, it's hard for a parent to support a comrade, maybe in terms of rent, food, and whatever. And you have a comrade who is good or proficient at a certain skill. We have one who is good at drawing using the Archicad, AutoCAD. Those are softwares used in engineering drawing. We have someone who is good in coding. We have someone who is a blogger. And specifically to Waziri Manyara, for the infrastructure, it was last week, I had a friend who was going to the Maandamano. And this friend told me that the reason alikuwa idle. And this person is the same person that last semester taught me how to draw using Archicad. So my request is for the county government to partner with this TUMSA for them to help comrades. Maybe they can get a certain gig or a part-time job, not full-time, part-time, so that they can even continue with their education. Also, we have our marine engineers here.
Thank you.
Our marine engineers, we have the Waziri for Blue Economy. They also have the, it's hard to find some gigs. You can also help them. And that is all that I have.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next person was this gentleman here.
Right.
Very brief, very fast. As Governor prepares to answer in his closing remarks, yeah, we'll do it once and for all.
Okay, my name is Clinton David, a student in KEMU. So my issue is about the voting cards. The votings, because imekuwa timing because tujachukua voting. Also another thing, I myself, I am a model. Okay, so as a model, you have been having a lot of challenges, sir. You have been having challenges, sir. So what we are requesting about it is...
Let's give him time, please.
Sir.
And try and hurry, please.
So as a model, tuna request that utusaidie at least, you help us with a place where to train. At the same time, at least you support us, because as a model is very expensive. So at least utusaidie. Also, I'm a chef, I'm doing hospitality. So you are requesting the certificate.
Please.
Sir, the food certificate, the poison, at least utpunguze the price of it, do ikuwe chini at least as a hospitality student to get a chance of it, at least you have the job of it. Well,
thank you. Now that we are in a university, wait, so you listen to what I'm trying to say, yeah? We are also in a university whereby, again, there are issues that the university can partner with the county, the overall. But in terms, if there are any staff who may want to ask a question, staff, you can ask a question.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Bwana Governor. Mine is very brief. Thank you for this time that you have spared to talk with the students. Just have a question. Students have raised concern and you answered that you are trying to establish waste management, and you are trying also to go to national government to get some funding. You also said that you are thinking of whether to take it to energy or to take it to other aspects of waste management.
Please.
I was saying that our experts we have here, we have the university and a number of experts. Me, I'm biased in energy, and one of my colleagues and the students are doing some research in wind. I think wind can be a source of energy for Mombasa County. And if we invest in wind as an energy, then we can be able to generate more energy. And then I'm also requesting on behalf of the university, we have solar which we are using to teach students. We also have solar which we generate as a source of energy. So we are requesting through the county government if they can give us more solar panels, at least to get some students engaged. And some courses can also be done 3 months, because even driving courses, we do asset there, you fund them. 3-month courses can be done, and if we engage them here in those solar panels, they can get some skills. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that. I'll just read one question. Bwana Governor, ICT hubs to be at campuses, iko kwa budget yako? It has come from this gentleman. Guys, we understand there are so many questions. We are technologically savvy. Kindly, if you have a question, you know the Twitter handle, you know the Facebook page for the governor, you know all the relevant offices, you can write your questions there. The governor's office, they will address them. Meanwhile, now it is time that I want to welcome Chairman Tumsa to come and give his remarks, and he will later now welcome. Can we question? Everybody has one question. Those will be 6 questions. Or, huh?
With all due respect,
Mr. Chairman, welcome. It is time. Let's agree on one thing. Wait a minute. Let's agree on one thing. You know, we are intellectuals. I cannot have all of you to ask questions. That is why I'm saying, wait. There is this gentleman here. If we are agreeing strictly on one question. So we are giving a room for just one person. It's him. Then we close.
Sawa. Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, Your Excellency. Yeah, I'm conversant. Ulipeana opportunity. Tunashukuru sana kwa wewe kujipresent hapa mbele ya wananchi, kuja uulizwe maswali, na tafadhali gatekeepers please. This is a forum yenye governor amepeana tuulize maswali. Yeah. Kwanza, Your Excellency Governor, immediately after you were sworn in, ulienda Swahili Port. You did a launch something called Fursa. I can remember it quite well. You talked quite eloquently about it because it was a partnership between you and whatever, Swahili Port, whatever, yeah? It was all about job opportunities, wale wenye hawakuwa hapo. It was all about job opportunities. Adverts zote za job Mombasa zinakuwa geofence. Everybody yawe ana apply hapo. Fursa isn't working. Ever since you launched it, opportunities zimetangazwa hapo na naweza hesabu kwa kijiganja changu mmoja cha mkono. 5. 2. Opportunities kwa the county government of Mombasa. Ni donda sugu. Maybe watu hawataki kulizungumzia hadharani, but ni donda sugu. It's public knowledge kuwa saizi ili uajiriwe kwa county, enda kabishe kwa MCA wako au tafute campaigner wa somebody. Kweli uongo? It's not limited to the jobs that we qualify to. I'm an accounting technician, I'm a plant operator. It's not limited to jobs that we qualify to. It goes far beyond. Hata Mombasa yangu, governor, engineer, diploma graduate wa TUM hapa, ame-apply twice. Naongelea out of Juni, my sister, diploma graduate wa TUM, ame-apply ya last year, ame-apply ya mwaka huu. Kazi ya kufagia, my friend. Kazi ya kufagia, my friend. Electrical engineer hawezi pata. Governor, if systems are not working, get some people fired. If Mombasa Public Service Board website yao haifanyi kazi mpaka wapeane slots kwa MCA, fire some people. 2. The other thing. Yeah. The other thing, Mheshimiwa Governor, ndio Mombasa kuna a lot of issues, including the water problem. I understand ni issue yenye persist over many years. Umeipata hapo. The current CEC wa water yuko hapo. Sawa, alipata watu kwa hiyo ofisi. The planning department was working in a technocrat who was sleeping on the job. Kama kuna mtu alikuwa analala kazini, futa yeye kazi, gavana. Kuna wanafunzi hapa can do those jobs and they can deliver your dream. The other thing, Mheshimiwa Governor, tuliona mtangulizi wako alisema anataka Mombasa iwe the most instagrammable city. Akasisitiza sana kwa kupaka rangi na maua. Kupaka rangi na maua, akakuachia taka, akakuachia magari ya county. I went to the yard at one point in time, 10-15 trucks zimelala. Governor, what do you want us to remember you for? What is your legacy? What do you want your legacy to look like? Tuweze kuelewa, tutakugauge kwa manyumba, tuweze kuelewa, tutakugauge kwa taka, tuweze kuelewa, tutakugauge kwa health services. What do you want your legacy to look like? Thank you.
Wow. That was nice. So, without much ado, because of time, we had agreed on one person, and he has spoken for all of us. We all agree with these issues. So, without much ado, I think.
Okay, I go by the name Mulungo Otieno, or alias Duke. So, Mr. Governor, it's like we are running out of time, yet we have a lot of things to put across. It was not long ago we had a space with the president, right? So, as in forums like this, we'd also ask that if you get time, we host you or you host us on your space, on the X. We air our views. And then, as I wind up, or you said it's one question, I want to ask you, Mr. Governor, you know we are used to, tumetenga, tumeelewana, tumefanya hivi. You have told us about the 50,000 stipend for students that are signed up to the university, let's say with the KUCCPS. When is it going to be established? You give us a time frame so that when you host us on that SpaceX, we ask you, has it been established? And then I am also speaking for the students who are admitted to the TVETs. Why are you leaving them out? Don't only focus on the university students. We have students that are admitted to the polytechnics. We have the vocational training institutes. So you should also factor them in. So with that, I'd like to rest my case.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Because of time, ladies and gentlemen, comrades, allow me to invite Chairman Tumsa to take over.
So, comrades power. Comrades zaga zaga. Comrades zaga zaga. So my role here is just to appreciate and to grant vote of thanks. But before I appreciate, Governor, there's some few things I've been asked by the moderator to put across. The first one, that 3 students, we are the best university in architecture. They can just see you the way you are, then they do it within minutes, and 32 minutes, 44 seconds, and you are here. There were 4 of you that drew you. They had a gift, but you'll see how you'll see them. So they can keep closer. When I'll invite the governor, you will take a pic, and you'll go. Secondly, the second thing, Governor, the second issue I've been asked to put across, and through the Chief of Staff, there was an inter-institutional competition on the Mr. and Miss Tourism Coast that I failed, and I'm very sorry you had to be. It was held at Mamba Village, and we took the apology positively, but I was asked to come with the winners. They are here. I don't know how they will be addressed, or you will see the governor personal appointment. Thank you. Comrades power. Comrades power. Then lastly, on this talk and Kikao, comrades, Ama Bonga and a governor, I think we are the initiators. We are the first people with the Mombasa Coast student leaders. It was coincident that the same very day we had a meeting with President, Council of Chairperson across universities, and we initiated. First request was, it is done in phases, and we have season 1. And this one, and for the guy, before he has left, I will request the guy who came. I don't know this, that's a security issue. I don't know, this was specifically for Technical University of Mombasa students, bona fide students, and also it was for invited guest student leaders across specifically, and the issues were self-centered. So I will request that guy, before you leave, can you ask me to grant you a security? Because these comrades will work on you orthogonically. Sawa, comrades power. Comrades power. I don't know how he chipped in and came and with issues of that is not related with comrades. But we are not responsible for his lack of knowledge. But the governor said he will mentor him, but as comrade, we are not responsible for his lack of knowledge. Thank you. Lastly, I want now to go. It has been hard, and it has been very picky to be, but finally we have the governor. I think you have saved me from them saying beast must go. Thank you. Nevertheless, the reason why I must grant you an appreciation, I'm very happy. I was an observer together with the moderator on IBC Observer. And in the Gen Zs, I'm very happy in your cabinet. Don't dissolve as Ruto. We have Gen Z. I can see Amado. We were in the same field. I can see Amado, the youngest CC. I think when he's going to replace Salim Voria, that position is left for me. Thank you. Comrades power. Comrades power. Secondly, I want to take this. I want to notify. Mine is to appreciate. All concerns have been dressed, and have been dressed in very wider view. I want to tell comrades that the reason I've seen many faces, that day they were pushing me, beast, go to the roads. I tell you, when you go to the roads, where will you occupy? Then they leave us on the same. I want to tell that the existence, I want to appreciate all the cabinets and the CEC, and in a special way appreciate. Last week, even before this issue of plans to have Kikao na Comrades, I received a courtesy call, a presidential call from the CEC, infrastructure, roads, and transport. And he said, we have a framework ongoing and on contracts. Out the university, for example, there's a cabro from Pakistan to TUM. The students who will do those are civil engineers from TUM. Comrades power. Comrades power. Comrades power. Sir, Comrades Zaga Zaga. Secondly, for example, I would wish to extend this. That one. Comrades power. Comrades power. Okay. The third appreciation goes to the university management. I want to appreciate Bwana Governor, His Excellency. This is the only university we don't have a vice chancellor. We have a mother. Oh, we have a mother, we don't have a vice chancellor. I want to appreciate, actually last night for making this. I called them, no, you umenisumbua sana. But we made sure the seats were all, the hall is free because it's not a working day. I want to give my sincere appreciation to the vice chancellor, the only vice chancellor at the C level, and I'm also the president at the C level. Thank you. The fourth appreciation goes to, Comrades power. The fourth appreciation goes to our DVC, the DVC ARE, Academics, Research and Extension. He has also helped us so much and stood with us to make this colorful event and this session to be successful. I want to extend my appreciation to my fellow student leaders. As you have seen, we have the best, the most sober student cabinet. As the only president here, you can see the questions are very sober and it's different from these others. To everyone now, all comrades who have taken all their time to be here, may God bless you. And now I'm safe in the university because Governor amekuja. Lastly, before I leave, I want to say this, yes? Yeah? Before I leave, Comrades power. Comrades power. I said that we came here from exactly 11, Bwana Governor. We have not taken breakfast. We have not taken supper. I would request, yeah? We are the people who are together with the governor. I know how hard it to head. I'm also president, and I know how hard to deal with students. I want to tell you, Bwana Governor, university, this is a constituency on its level. Just know Mombasa has an extra constituency. It's bigger than Kisauni constituency. Comrades constituency is very big. If we are dealing with the issue, I know there's a walk now from Changamu, we will go, then come back for Comrades constituency. I lead the biggest constituency in Coast region. Comrades power. Comrades power. There's a request from you clarify after this was for TUM. You go to KCNP differently, then we'll be invited as leaders, they raise their issues, and to MKU specifically, and we go to JKUAT in that way. This is season 1. We request no matter how long it will be, we must have season 2. I will follow. The bigger thing is implementation. With all powers bestowed on me, let me take this wonderful chance to invite the only governor, yeah? The only governor at the C level. Welcome, Bwana Governor. Thank you.
Sasa, allow me to be, because some very interesting questions were asked, allow me to be able to quickly answer them. Nyingine nitajibu Kiswahili tuweze kuelewana. Nyingine nijibu Kiswahili tuweze kuelewana. I believe the question that was asked is modernization of the skill sets. I think this is a conversation that definitely the departments have already agreed. We will be discussing these matters with yourselves. The other one, nimeulizwa ni habari ya voting cards. I think we need a commission in place first. We have to have a commission in place. I think the law has been signed. Tuombe Mungu tupate commission so that more people can be registered as voters and be able to get the services that they require. There are some things that are beyond me. The issue of model training, I'm afraid I'm far from being a model. Siwezi kujua what are the requirements, but I know we have a program ile ya Skills Mitaani that is coming up. And in the Skills Mitaani program, which is actually going to be tackling and handling, nimesikia wengine waliuliza why are we only doing university, not TVET. The Skills Mitaani program will also bring on board the TVET students as well, which will cover the issues that are there. And in the Skills Mitaani, it is not just vocational training, but it is also, it isn't just TVET alone, but it is, we want to give people recognition of prior learning. That means there are people who have been very, very good boda riders, but they don't have a driving license. There are people who are very, very good in hairdressing, but they don't have the certificate if they get a job that requires them that certificate. There are people who are good electricians, but they don't have the necessary licenses and permits. So we will now be able to do that in this phase of the Skills Mitaani program. I asked, and I want to state here, I have given instructions. Every student who is meant to be having a food handling certificate, the county government will waive those fees with immediate effect. I think that would help you. And what I want, the chief officer will notify the county secretary. You write to all the institutions that are offering catering services of any form that the county government will waive the food handling fees for students, for the students. I was also asked about the issue of waste management. Maybe you didn't understand me. I'm not waiting for money from national government. Nikianza kwenda njia hiyo, tutazeeka hapa na tunasubiri pesa. We have to be innovative. I'm only waiting for a letter. By law, Treasury has to be able to authorize that to allow the county government to deal with individuals who are doing this and this, especially after the bid did not go through. So that is what it is that we are waiting for. Tukisema tunangoja national government watupatie do, si ya leo. Two, what we are doing right now, everything needs research. And the issue of solid waste management, there's a full research that was done by the European Investment Bank. It's a very, very detailed research on how we're going to handle this, and we will be rolling this out. It is something technical in nature, but we will be rolling it out in phases. Once we've been able to get the necessary letters. The issue of ICT hubs, well, I think right now national government already has a program. We need to see where they will reach with that program. Let's not try and duplicate things. Because I know national government is saying that they want to put ICT hubs, I think, in every ward. I know for a fact when I was a member of parliament, I put up, I think, were there 4 or 5 ICT hubs when I was a member of parliament. But I am a believer that let's not waste resources. Let's, if they are doing it, well and good. If we feel that they're going to slack, then let us pick that conversation up. Well, I think that will be fair for taxpayers. Then lastly, the conversation that the good gentleman aliongea mpaka jasho ikamtoka. When I went to Swahili Port, we didn't launch the app. Let's just get that clear. When I went to Swahili Port, we mentioned that we will be doing this app. It was a concept birth. And I'll explain to you why we have not launched it. There's also data protection. When you upload these things and I make it too open, kuna information yenu that is inside there. Maybe what you need to now realize what I have done, we have written to the data protection, we have been certified as the county government that we are actually certified that we can be able to handle data. So by law, we are now within. We are going to set a date to launch this. What I want to do is I've asked the Department of Finance to start again. The word that I want to use is let's think as if there's no box. What we want to do, we've not loaded. We've not even loaded any people who want jobs. Because the first one I would have done is the County Public Service Board. But because the app has not been launched, but we will be doing, and I'm glad that you actually know that that app exists. It's the Forza app. But amongst the ideas that I have is we need to come up with a formula so that it is also not misused. For people who employ our young people, companies that employ our young people will have a possibility of reducing their cost of street board advertising, reducing their SBPs and so forth, so that instead of you paying us, pay the young person as a job. And then next year you continue. There are many ideas that we are trying to come up with, but we will be doing the launch properly. And when we do it, we will invite everyone here. The other issue that was asked about jobs, actually the county government has primarily hired medics. We have not hired anyone else. In fact, the only advert that has come out right now is for inspectorate. And even that, they've not hired yet. They're still in the process because you imagine you want 200 slots and you get 10,000 applications or even more. But I've heard you on the Mombasa Yangu program. The Mombasa Yangu program is a marvelous. There's nothing more important than giving people hope. The Mombasa Yangu program, one thing that I've given instructions is that every part of Mombasa needs to have representation. That means in every one of the 30 wards, they need to have an equal amount of people picked. You have raised to me that there's the issue to do with how people are getting it, but also you have to remember, we increased it to 3,000. Those who applied Mombasa Yangu, if I'm not mistaken, were almost 50,000? They were 50,000. So you can imagine it is very, very difficult. But it does not mean that others did not get. Maybe in future what we might want to do, and it might be the best, maybe. Tukifanya hii program tena, let's do an open ballot. Watu wakuje kwa uwanja kama hii, tushike, tuchukue, jina ya nani ilitoka, huyo ndo alipata nafasi. We might be forced to do that eventually. Because it is impossible. As the governor, I came up with this idea of Mombasa Yangu, not that I needed employees. No. But I need to remove people off the... By the way, watu waliona mini cheese inafanya hii program. So hii national government is emulating. And when I did this program, every time we do it, rate of crime reduces. So it's a beautiful program. Tusiweke doa kwa sababu ya hii moja ama mbili. The other issue that was asked was about water. Who has been fired? The challenge we have with water is only one. We don't have water. Hear me out. We are surrounded by water, but we don't have water that we can be able to consume. Our source of water comes from Kilifi County. Our source of water comes from Kwale County. Wenzetu lazima washibe maji before it comes to us. Out of a demand that we currently have of 200,000 cubic meters, we're only getting 40,000. Now, the challenge that is there is how do you give that 40,000? And even that 40,000 coming to Mombasa, sometimes we have another challenge. This is why I feel very agitated and frustrated dealing with national government entities. Sometimes pipe ya coast water, which is not in my domain. Pipe ya coast water ikitoboka, maji haiingii Mombasa. So now that becomes another problem. Now, again, I told liter ya maji. So the challenge we have is Mombasa has no water source. We have no river. We have to depend on water from Baricho. We have to depend on water from Kwale. Maji inaingia kutoka sehemu za Tiwi inakuja. We have to depend on water from sehemu za Voi. And every single person. Then if anything happens to the line along the way, it is a coast water. And coast water, which is a constitutional argument for another day, but even that needs to now be devolved. Coast water needs to be devolved to counties so that we can be able to take responsibility of the things that we are doing. So I hope that has cleared the air on the issue of water. The other issue that you asked about the trucks, actually very soon there's going to be an advert. I'm selling all those old trucks. They're dead assets. What we are doing in this budget for this year, we're coming up with proper compactors. The trucks that were there served their purpose, served their time, but now we're coming up with compactors, and we're coming up with other ways. You asked me a question, and I love this, and I think it is going to be the last one that I'm going to, what is going to be my legacy? There's no richer legacy than people. Look at the investment that I have done in all of you. There's no richer legacy that I will leave behind than a people that have been empowered. Everything that I do when I wake up in the morning, this year is the year that we have put in budgets for matters of infrastructure. But of what use is an infrastructure when I have a dying population? Of what use is an infrastructure if the people cannot be able to use that particular infrastructure. And that is the reason why we invested so heavily on our health for the poor. That is why we invested so heavily in our education. By the way, something else that we are going to do, and we've put it in this budget. I know sometimes I get accused that I'm investing too much in people, but I would rather get accused that I'm investing too much in people and leave a people that are going to be happy. Leave a people that are going to be empowered. Right now, Mombasa might be the only county where we are coming up with a way, our ECDs in Mombasa, the children will be going for our 100% free to school. 100% free. We've put it in this budget. The concept is very simple. The county government will pay the capitation. I'm doing this realizing that we live at a time, and I think that is my end. Thank you all very much. I look up to the challenge of being hosted on space. Asanteni sana na mbarikiwe.
Your Excellency, I beg for your indulgence for just a minute to receive these things on behalf. Kindly, for our guests who came with vehicles who will be using the gate A, you are given a visitor's tag. Ensure that you surrender it at the gate, please. And as we wind up, we will close with the national anthem, please. Aya, let's remain upstanding for the national anthem, please, so that we can close.
DJ, national anthem. Please, kila mtu tunyamaze. Mr. and Ms. Tum, wakuja wapige picha na governor tafadhali. And everybody, let's stay at an alert for the national anthem. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Miss Tum, please. Miss Tourism, please. Thank you.